Sorry I missed your call.
Hey. Oh, I love doing that. I love saying hey. Hey. What's up? Hey. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Jamaica J, and today I'm going to be telling y'all some things I feel like y'all should know before coming to college. Now, I'm a 20-year-old senior communications major with a Spanish minor, so I feel like I'm quite qualified to give y'all some advice about this. So, I'm going to give y'all 10 things that I believe y'all should know before coming to college, things I wish I knew, things I've learned throughout this experience. Some of them you may have heard before, but some you may not have. So, let's get to it. Side note, these are in no particular order in ranking from most important to least important because I feel like they're all equally important, honestly, in their own way. So number one, opportunities are around every single corner. If you're on a college campus, there is a contact within a contact within a contact. There's this saying that like depending on who you know, you're like 4 contacts away from meeting a celebrity. I don't know how the saying goes. Somebody comment down below how it goes, but I know what it means in my head. But seriously, there are opportunities every single where you go. For example, I was in the caf one day and I was just being me. And the server, he was like, man, you're always smiling every time I see you. I was like, oh, thanks. Like, thanks. And he was like, what's your major? What do you do? I was like, oh, I'm a communications major. He was like, well, what do you want to do with that? I love filming. I love making short videos, editing, things around that. That's what I love to do. He was like, really? I said, yeah. He was like, I got a job for you every Thursday. Do you want my resume or so soon? Yes. He was just like, oh, I have a job to you. Write your information down right here and I'll get back to you. I mean, hey, he never really got back to me and that's okay. But the point is, there are opportunities everywhere. That's why you need to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. Your smile is your brand. So smile, have a welcoming presence about yourself, be affable so that people can approach you and meet you with opportunity. And also being in good graces with your advisors, your professors, that'll be a good way to go and seek out opportunity because honestly, they may have deals to where you could work under them and get experience for X, Y, Z because a lot of professors, they're hustlers. Professors are really hustlers because they be selling their books, they be promoting their podcasts, they be doing all this stuff, and they need help with that because they are people too. They have passions too. Teaching may not be their first passion, but guess what? They're gonna have a side job that you can help them with. Get into everybody's business, and I don't mean negative business as in gossip or things like that. If there's a circle of people talking about, we want to do this internship, we're going this place to do this and to network with these people, jump on. Hey, can I come? Great way to make friends too. I'm just saying, I've done it before. The next thing is time will fly. I came into college 2020 and it's 2023 now, and I'm like, where did the time go? I was just a freshman just moving in, and now I'm about to graduate at the end of the year. College is 2 times as fast as high school in terms of time. So don't waste it. Don't waste it slumbering. Don't waste it in a negative space. Don't waste it not doing anything. Like, use your time wisely because it will leave you, and no matter what, the train will keep moving. Like, it's going. I don't know. I guess a little tip about that would be like, wake up early. Wake up early. You make the most out of your day by using up all your hours. Make sure you got something to do during each hour of the day so that no time goes wasted. One day will turn into 1 month, which turns into a year, which turns into 4 years, and now you're walking across the stage. And if you spent most of that time BSing, it's gonna show. You're gonna be like, well, dang, I kind of wasted my experience, and nobody wants to say they wasted their time. That's like one of the worst things you can do because you can never get that back. Número 3. Get acquainted with other majors outside of your own. Your engineering major. Obviously, you're going to spend a whole lot of time with your engineering friends because that's who you have classes with. That's who you're going to be in clubs with. But when you go out on the yard, when you go out on campus, there's going to be so many other people around that you have no connection to or have no sense of because you haven't expanded your network, because you boxed yourself into this group of people and stuck with this group of people. Maybe because it's comfortable, it's like easy to get along with them. Yeah, duh, y'all got stuff in common already. it broadens your perspective as well and adds on to your ability to be innovative, be creative, because people from other majors have ideas that can help you within your major that you never would have known. For example, I'm a comm major, and I've had a lot of relations with agriculture majors. That's completely different, but in a way, it's all in conjunction because, for example, agriculture has to do with the world and creating food sources, utilizing land space, community, people, how people sustain life. But as a comm major, I'm concerned with how people communicate in life, interact with one another, what makes people click, what makes them not click. With those two combined together, we could save the world. I don't know how, but you just can. Or I'm also in connection with a lot of nursing majors. I've written about health in my comm research papers because my friends from those majors, they're pouring the knowledge into me just by hanging out with them, being around them while they're studying, having study groups together, and we're learning about each other's stuff in a way. It benefits your knowledge, it expands your knowledge, makes you a more well-rounded person, and that should be a goal in your life, to be well-rounded, to be multifaceted, and not be stuck on just one thing. Number 4, I gotta just get myself together for this one. Everybody was not raised how you were. The stuff I done seen, the stuff I done heard, I'm just like, I don't know. What happened? What happened? I only had one, like, I wouldn't even say it was a bad roommate experience, but it was just it was eye-opening to the sense that, okay, people were not raised, people weren't taught to clean, people weren't taught to be respectable of noise levels, people were exposed to different substances and things that you maybe weren't exposed to. Some people know how to live on a schedule, some don't, some just go day to day, like, hey, what's happening today? Let me get up and go instead of having a plan. There are so many people that are different from you. There's a positive side to that and there's a negative side to that, just like everything. That's the duality of life. You have to take the good with the bad. Don't be influenced to change your ways in the worst way. Now, if you're influenced to change your ways in the best way, do that. You're growing. Being surrounded by people who were not raised like you, it either sharpens you, iron sharpens iron, or it corrupts you. Bad company corrupts good character. You have to choose how firm you're going to be. And the good side is that it helps you learn how to get along with people different from you. It helps you learn how to coexist, because I think that's a skill that you're going to need whether you're in the workforce, especially let's be real, a lot of us in life are going to have to work with other people. There's no elevating without having people there to help you. You have to learn how to coexist, how to work with people, how to be solution-based thinkers, so that when problems arise, you're able to squash them immediately because you created those skills, those interpersonal skills that will help you, you know, get the job done. I'm a comm major, so I'm very good at that. Just kidding. Number 5, you either take the wide path or you take the narrow path. And I can tell you that the wide path is a whole lot easier to take than the narrow path. There is temptation plaguing the wide path. It's so easy to just follow the crowd that's not doing right rather than do what you know is right and be on that journey with a small select group of people, or maybe even by yourself. I'm resonating more with my Christian people right now, spiritual people, whatever you devote yourself to. Make sure you're grounded in it. It's gonna be so easy to get sidetracked and to get off of your purpose, to get off of doing righteous. I'm just be honest, college is the breeding ground for temptation. It's the breeding ground for worldliness. Like, this is the most carnal place you can be in all ways. Make sure you're constantly practicing faith. Not just listening to it, not just reading it, not just preaching it to someone else, but practicing it, because that's what's gonna build your spiritual tolerance to be able to combat all the worldly things that are gonna come and distract you and get you off of that path. It's gonna be so hard, but it's gonna happen inevitably, and there will come a time where you have to choose. Am I gonna go to this party, or am I gonna sit here and study? Am I gonna go to this boy's dorm and do, or am I gonna remain pure and encourage him to do the same? Go to my friend's house with all her homegirls and smoke this blunt and drink this bottle of MD or Four Loko, because that's cheap and it's the best thing you can get in college? Or am I going to say, hey, no, I'll catch y'all another time, and reconsider who you're hanging out with and not do that? There's gonna be so many decisions you have to make But it's going to be up to you to make them be aware of what you're worshiping as well, because that's going to be that's going to be what you turn into. Let me get my food out the oven.
Send a prayer and get blessed right back. Ain't no devil in my plans, just evidence of God's hand on that. Yeah.
So sad. Number 6, you will be humbled in the worst ways. Woo! Got chills on that one. You will be catching L's left, right, up, down. Turn around, there's L. Look forward, there's L. It's building you. You may not think so, but it's building you up. There's gonna be things that come at you unexpectedly. There are gonna be things that you get yourself into, or things that you just happen to fall into that hurts you. It's gonna be discouraging. You're gonna have those really discouraging times. You're gonna have a dark time, but guess what? You're gonna come out of that too. But nonetheless, you're going to have a hard time. Within your time of being in college in general, you will have that dark place. Because think about it. This is the time, you know, you're 18, turning 19, 19, 20, 20, 20, 18, or some 17-year-olds, really. I've met a 17-year-old, she's so astute, like, oh, how did you get here? Awesome. 17 to 25 or even higher. This is your time in your life where everything is changing. You're coming into the person that you're supposed to be. You're unlearning things from your past. You're creating goals for yourself, being influenced. You're learning different things, seeing different things, and some of you may be coming into your calling, some of you may be still figuring it out. It doesn't matter. You're evolving so fast, so often, so turbulently. It's gonna be overwhelming. If you're not going through that, then something's wrong. Something's wrong if you're just standing still and nothing's happening, because that means you're not getting yourself outside of your comfort zone for change to happen to you internally. With that being said, just like I said before, make sure you have something to ground you that you can come back to. Maybe that's your word. Maybe that's a group of people. Maybe that is, you know, calling home every once in a while to stay connected to them. Whatever that is that keeps you grounded, make sure you hold it near and dear, especially during those dark times, because they will come. And when they come, it's going to hit heavy. People say this all the time. College is one of the worst and best times of your life, and it's absolutely true. Don't let that deter you from wanting to come to college or wanting to be in college. Like, it's gonna happen. It's a life. Literally, it's a life. Número 7. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Don't get caught up. Do not put your all into a man. Do not put your all into a woman. Not at this time. Am I saying refrain yourself from creating those and establishing those relationships with people? No. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to come here and gain friends, relationships, things like that. But one thing you need to make sure you don't do, make sure you don't idolize that relationship in no way, shape, or form, because at that point, you're gonna lose your whole purpose for being here. You're gonna forget why you came here. Why did you come here, sis? Did you come here to get the degree or a ring? You can get both, but which one do you want first? Which one do you want more? It should be the degree. You came here to better yourself, and within that, if you find yourself in a relationship with people and you're pouring more into them than you're pouring into yourself, you need to step back, reestablish, and go back in with a different mindset, or go completely away from that. You are stunting your growth. You're not here for them, baby. You're here for you. And it's gonna be really hard because you love people, especially if you're a lover, you're a hard lover, and you really put your all into things. You're gonna learn self-love in that way. I'm speaking so passionate about everything I'm saying is because I've experienced it, and I know you're going to too. I'm letting you know before you get here so you're not surprised. Don't let it be the end of your life. These are young men around here. They don't have it all figured out, just like you don't have it all figured out. Another thing is options. There are so many people on this campus to meet, not sleep with, and just to bond with and things like that. So don't feel like, oh, you missed out, because there's so many people out there. And that's not discrediting the value of that person. That just means you're not the only thing on this earth. And I'm still learning. I'm speaking towards women because I am a woman. Oh. How many of me are there? I'm speaking about guys because it's coming from a woman. Vice versa, this can be applied vice versa, bro. You know why you're here. Get that degree. Boss up. You're a kingdom man. Act like it. Number 8. You won't be the same as you came in. And that's a good thing. Why? Because if you experience no change and you're the same person that you came into college being, You need to go back and do it again because you ain't did nothing. There's no characteristic growth. There's nothing there. Change is good. Change means that you're growing. You were able to get something out of it. You may come out with some battle wounds and some battle scars, but that's okay because you can look back and learn from that. No matter what happens, you can always look back and understand the lesson from it. You will be a changed person. You'll think a whole lot differently. You will mature. Or not. Nah, you'll mature. You'll mature. You're going to have a different perspective of people. You're gonna have a different perspective of yourself, your family, your life, your goals. Like, things are just gonna be different for you, and that's amazing because that means you're one step closer to being who you were destined to be. Number 9, you make your own experiences. Don't wait on anybody else to do it for you. Don't wait on anybody to invite you out. Throw a kickback so you can come to. You do it. Otherwise, if you're waiting, you're gonna be waiting for all 4 years and you would not have experienced anything because it's like, carry me. Ain't nobody gonna carry you. And for the ones that aren't so outgoing, the introverts out there, get some extroverted friends that can kind of help you come out of your comfort zone. I can understand the shyness of going out there into a completely new territory and just being. It's scary. It really is. If you have some help in a way, you have some company to do those things, to take on those new experiences with you, it'll be all the fun. You'll hear a lot of different things from a lot of different people, like, oh, school's just for partying, or that's because all you did was party here, bro. You didn't go to your classes. Your professor stopped calling your name after a while because he knew you wasn't coming. Or those people who are just like, oh, college is boring, like well, you were in your books all day. You never looked up from your book. Obviously, obviously it's boring. You're just focused, you're just doing one thing. People who leave college earlier than expected because it didn't meet their expectations, they feel like they can do without it. To each their own. You're gonna figure that out. But you know what you gotta do in order to figure that out? Whether you wanna be here or not, or whether college is for you or not, you gotta experience it. You have to immerse yourself. And the last thing, numero 10. This is your time. This is your time. It's your time. Don't let nobody tell you different. You are the main character. Obviously not. You get to do what you please. Be who you want to be without anybody telling you differently. Obviously, there's going to be those haters. There's going to be those outside opinions. There's going to be all these things. But at the end of the day, you get to do this because this is your time. So make sure you are pouring into yourself. It's okay if you make some mistakes. This is the time to do it. You don't want to be 10 years older making the same mistake. Do it to the fullest. Have no regrets, and don't do anything to where you would be regretful of. Be safe. I'm not saying go out here and be willy-nilly. I'm saying go out here and be open and be excited to pursue your life, to take life by its weave and carry it. Bottom line, you are going to love it. Be hopeful, be ready, be prepared, be you. No matter what, be you. No matter who you turn into, be you and stay true. Be you, stay true. It don't matter what you do, yeah, do. I really hope this helped you in some way, shape, or form, or made you excited to come to college. You got this. You clicked on this video for a reason, and now you know you got it. The world is here for you to take it on, and it starts here. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Very, very grateful.